What's up, y'all? It's TruthTiger, and today I'm going to talk about healing the scars of my broken heart, healing the scars on my broken heart. And, I was, deep in prayer, deep in meditation last night, and I realized that my very heart, the very center, the center of my soul, that area where these emotions and intuitions and motivations and that mysterious area of my body, of my spirit, whatever, had been damaged. It had been hurt. And, I had to remove these blockages in my mind in order to access my heart, to feel it and to see it. And I realized that every time I get betrayed, I get stabbed in the back, every time I have to deal with drama, every time I have these bad friends, bad situations, whatever, BS, drama I gotta deal with, it puts a scar on my heart and it wounds me, it hurts me, and it does the same thing to all of you. And having lived a lifetime of that, and a childhood of that, and an adulthood of that, these wounds and these scars add up. From the time I'm a little kid, I feel rejected by my own family. I don't have parents that really care about me. I come into my family, I'm a little baby, my own siblings don't like me. And I'm like, man, I just want to be loved. I want to be cared for. I want to be protected. But I feel abandoned. I feel rejected. And these wounds start at a very early age. And then you carry that kind of heart forward with you, and you start to look for acceptance any way you can. You just want to fit in. You just want people to like you. You just want to be one of the group. You want to be accepted, but you're not. It's how the world is, and it's how my environment was, at least, where I did not feel like I had a lot of acceptance or friends around me. I didn't feel like I had people having my back, supporting me. I was a one-man army from the very beginning. I'm serious. I felt this way from the time I was maybe 3 or 4 years old. Very little kid. The gaslighting, the games, the BS starts early. My parents get me in trouble for something I didn't even do. They won't listen to me. They don't care about me. There's an illusion of it. They try to act like they do, but they didn't. And a lot of us have come from different situations, but I think everyone on some level has this feeling of childhood abandonment. And, you start to carry this thing forward, and you think, man, maybe if I make myself less, if I become less of me, then my parents will care about me. I will be accepted by those around me. I'll be liked by those around me. I just make myself less of me. And I start to repress my feelings. I start to repress my true emotions. I start to repress all the anger and frustration that I feel about the situation. I start to repress all the sadness and depression and loneliness that I feel. I start to repress all the anxiety and the fear and the feelings that my feet are just sinking into the ground, and the feelings that this family situation could collapse at any moment. All it takes is one fight to go bad, one argument to go too far, and the whole family could collapse. And now me, the little kid, has to hold it together. And you got these parents who are not mature people at all, who are psychological 3-year-olds. So you're like, I have to be the responsible parent in the family unit. Even the dogs, the pets, will take this on. The dog will see this. I'm serious. When I was growing up, my dogs would do this. They would step in and they'd be like, man, someone has to be responsible here. Someone has to be mature here. Someone has to make sure everybody's getting along. You ever see that? Where a couple's fighting or something, the dog kind of barks, and the dog's like, hey, stop this. The dog kind of barks at both of them, and he's like, ruff, ruff, stop. What are you guys fighting about? Stop doing this, That's what happens. And when you come from families and situations like that, which most people in the world do come from a situation like that on some level, you got this deep, deep wound in your heart. And you start to repress your anger, repress your feelings. You tell people, I'm doing good. You put on a smile. You act happy. You act nice. You try to make jokes to try to get people to like you. You try to just follow along and go along to get along. And the more you do that, you become who you are becomes less and less and less and less. And all those repressed emotions start to come out in weird ways. You know, all that anger you've held on to, now you're just frustrated all the time. And you just feel angry about stuff for no reason. All the shame and the feelings of rejection you held on to, now you just start to embarrass yourself to try to get people to like you. And you start to just like compromise yourself so others will like you. And you start to want to attach yourself to these external things. You want to attach yourself to politics, religion, society, materialism, whatever. You want to attach yourself to these things, you know, what you see as quote unquote bigger than you. They're not. All those things are actually smaller than us. We are divine beings created by the Lord God. And all that stuff is of the way of the beast. All that stuff is far smaller than us. But we attach ourselves to it. And we think that it will provide some type of parental guidance to us. We think that it will make us be accepted. And it doesn't. It just reduces us and makes us smaller and smaller and smaller. And then we got all this anxiety, and we're always anxious about everything. And we're always freaked out about everything. And we don't know why. And it's always like, you know, some little thing. For me, I'd take my car to the shop and I'd be just sweating bullets. And I'm like, why am I so anxious? And I'm not the only one. I was in this real bad. I was in this real bad. And the thing is, it gets to a point where you don't really know what love is anymore. I remember I had some roommates and they had a dog. And the dogs came up to me wagging their tails, wanting to be pet and, you know, wanting to play and stuff. And I remember I was so happy and I felt so good and I felt so accepted. And I was thinking the dogs might run away from me. The dogs might bark at me. The dogs might bite me. The dogs might not like me. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm accepted. Someone likes me. This animal likes me. And it just is how we feel. And the thing is, I had friends and stuff at that point in life, but they weren't really my friends. They were more people I was around. And I'll get to that a little bit later in this video, but it's like I feel genuine affection, genuine love, you know, from an animal that's innocent. But the people, not so much. Drama with the people, issues with the people, games with the people, manipulation with the people, always trying to get one over on you with the people, never giving you any credit with the people. It's, you know, it's just a big competition. There's no love there with the people. So, you know, you look at the animal, it's innocent, it's kind. Yeah, but man, if you get to a point where you don't know what love is, and when you don't know what love is, you can't envision yourself in a healthy relationship. You can't envision yourself with healthy friends. You can't envision yourself in a healthy marriage. You can't envision yourself in a healthy community. You can't envision that stuff. You can't envision that healthy situation. You can't envision having healthy colleagues, healthy coworkers, whatever. Healthy neighbors. You can't envision that because you don't have a concept of that. And that's what I felt. I had no concept of that. I didn't even know what that was. I just thought friends fight, couples fight. It's just part of it. We're all just trying to get one over on each other. We're all just trying to get one past each other. And I was tired. I was exhausted constantly. I had no energy because this crap was just draining me bad, really. And the tough part about this is when I finally came to a point in my life where I woke up and I said no more, and I said I'm done with this, and I said I know there's a better way. There's a way of God. There's the way of love and kindness. There's the good way of Jesus Christ. I knew that way existed. But once I started to take hold of that and go along that way, haters came out of the woodwork. The devil knew that his time with me was done, and he tried to send all these fools into my life to try to mess with me. And haters came out of the woodwork. They were mad. I was not going to be a narcissist like them. I was not going to enable their narcissism. I was not going to turn a blind eye to their BS. I was going to do the right thing. Stand up for truth. And it's not like I'm going around like trying to, you're a narcissist, you're bad. It's just like when they talk to me about that, I'm like, no, you shouldn't be treating people like that. Or, no, like, why are you fighting with your freaking girlfriend or your boyfriend all the time? Why are you doing that? Just little things like that, I'd say. And they realize that I'm not on their team anymore. They realize that I've joined the forces of goodness, and they are on the side of the forces of evil. And they came after me. And that hurt my heart more. That hurt my heart more. And a lot of people I thought were friends, I found out we're not friends. We're nutcases. We're narcissists. We're manipulators. We're liars. And just did not have a good purpose for me in life. I had a lot of people just turn real nasty on me. Turn real rotten. Real bad. Coworkers act real disrespectful, real fake, real manipulative, real nuts. Try to destroy me, Even some girls I try to talk to would be all mean and nasty and try to reject me in the meanest way possible. Well, at the same time, stalking around me a little bit, trying to keep tabs on me, trying to see what's up with me. Same with these other narcissists, the male narcissists, the fake bros, the fake coworkers, all these people. They wanted to be like my friend, but be the worst kind of friend possible. And I'm not getting support from people around me. And it's killing me. It's killing me. And at the same time, my family needs all this attention from me. My own parents need attention and validation from me constantly. And they got constant drama. And they got all these weird little manipulative mind tricks they're playing on me. And I had to say, I'm not playing with you anymore. I don't care. We're done. We're done. And this whole journey, it's hard. It's hard. And our heart hurts. And our heart can be in a state where we're like, we can't see the daylight on the other side. We can't see the shore. We've been in these rough waters and we can't see the shoreline, but it's there. Have faith, it's there. And I've had to really push forward on a lot of stuff. And a lot of it's also that I was always kind of dependent on the group in a way, and dependent on people, to emotionally support me. They never really gave me good emotional support that I needed, but I thought that on some level, that I would get this emotional support or validation from them, and just breaking out of that and just being like, I'm my own person. I don't really care what other people think. I don't care what they're doing. I'm doing my own thing. I'll walk by people. I won't even look at them. Not always, but most of the time. I'm in my own zone. I don't care what they're doing. And the thing about people being on the attack, a lot of random strangers, random passerbys go on the attack. I walk by people. They start coughing all of a sudden. I get in an elevator with some people. They start coughing all of a sudden. I got in an elevator today at my work, and this guy just is eyeing me weird and is giving me an angry look. And I'm like, I don't know, I'm just trying to go to work and make money the same way you are. Why are you looking at me angry? I didn't say that, but I had this moment of realization where I realized that this guy giving me the angry look, he's a small little man. He's not masculine. He's not free in how he thinks. He's got no testosterone. I'm being serious when I say this. I'm not trying to dunk on this guy or brag or, be like I'm the biggest, toughest, most alpha male, but he sees that I got some alpha male in me, and he does not. He does not at all. He does not stand up for himself. He does not have any testosterone. He does not physically take care of his body. He is not independent. He doesn't know how to have fun, and he looks at me and he looks at who he could be, and he's mad. And I'm serious. There's a lot of guys out there that are like that. I'm a smart guy too. I'm an intuitive thinker. I think outside the box. And I've had a lot of guys where they weren't jealous about anything physical, but they were really mad at my mind. They were really angry that I was smart, that I'm a problem solver, and that I could figure things out they couldn't figure out. And it drove them crazy. It drove them crazy. And for these females who were tripping out on me, they deep down knew they did not deserve me. Deep down they knew. And if you got people tripping out at you like this, it's because they're jealous. And it's because deep down you are reminding them of a failing that they have. It's the bottom line. And I'm coming to this realization, and I'm realizing that I'm so much bigger than these small people. I'm much, much bigger than them. I'm much, much bigger and stronger than them. But the thing is, our world is very narcissistic. Our world is run by narcissists. And our world has this very egoic, narcissistic, the world's all about people's egos. So in the way of the world, we think having a big ego and being demanding, that we think that there's some merit to that. And that's just kind of the worldly way. So most people believe in that and enable that and go along with that. And when everyone else is doing that, and everyone else is all about this ego and narcissism, it can be kind of hard to see past that fog. It can be tough to see past it. But I'm telling you, see past that fog and realize that you're much bigger than these people. They're little insects, but they're putting a projector on themselves to try to make themselves look big. But they're small and they're little. And you're much, much bigger than them. And they're not happy people. They're unhappy people who have not resolved their own issues. And you have. Which gives you a very, very great strength. It makes you much, much stronger than they are. Drinking this the wrong way. It does. And I want everybody watching this to take heart. And to hold on. And to have fortitude. And to keep pushing forward. And to not quit. To not give up. Despite how broken your heart has been, it can repair. Even just yesterday, I just suddenly found myself angry for no reason, because all this repressed anger that's backed up, making me angry, Gabor Mate, he's an author. He talks about repressed anger being a source of illness. And I believe 100% what he says. And I see these scars on my heart, and I realize that's why I have asthma. That's why I have celiac disease. That's why I have Raynaud's disease. That's why I got these medical issues. That's how these scars on my heart are manifesting. They're manifesting depression and anxiety as well. Because I'm hurting on the inside. My heart's in pain. And then my body and my mind start to become in pain as well. They do. And, people can say whatever they want to say about that, but I know it's true. And I know that when I've talked to a lot of people who've had stressful situations, stressful jobs, stressful marriages, stressful families, and they end up with a weird medical issue, or they end up very depressed, very anxious. Something ends up being messed up because the environment they're around is messed up, and the way others are treating them is messed up. When you're not being treated with respect, and you just keep taking it, or you get really frustrated and you're snapping at them and you're yelling at them and you're going crazy on them, or you're leaving the room in a huff or whatever. When you're not genuinely standing up for yourself, when you're not genuinely putting your foot down and saying no, when you're either sitting back and taking it or you're having these crazy reactions to it, you're letting that BS hang over your head. You're letting that BS hold you down. You are. I was. And I realized that by putting my foot down, saying no, and saying I'm not going to tolerate that, having some level of anger, of course, but not an explosive freak out. To some level of where I'm in control. I'm angry, but I'm in control. I'm saying, hey, you're disrespecting me. You're not treating me right. No. And you got to start to do that. And you got to have self-esteem too, and self-worth and self-value. You know, I used to go around, I still do this a little bit, unfortunately, but it's like, I want people to accept me. I want people to like me. I'm really getting past it. I'm really getting past that one huge, but, you know, there's a part of me that's like, why won't these people like me? You know? I got people that act real nice to my face, that act like they're my good friend, and they like me a lot. They want to hear what I want to say. But then sometimes they'll go in the corner of the room with another person and they'll start whispering. Who you whispering about? I know what's up. And it's just like, man, these people be fake. These people be incredibly fake. And I'm not going to look to any of them for validation. There's good people out there. And I'm having good people come into my life. I know I've been saying that a lot, but slowly but surely, good people are coming into my life. I'm meeting cool people, good situations, 100%. 100%. Respectful people are coming into my life. But yeah, I got people playing weird games like that. People trying to like talk a little trash on me, spread a little rumors. People are trying to find some weird little dumb mistake I made in the workplace to try to make a bigger deal about it than it is. So you messed up a line on a spreadsheet, whatever, something like that. And a lot of times I don't even do it, but they're trying to blame me for it or whatever. Just really dumb stuff. And I said this before, but you got to be the bull. And unfortunately, people who you got to be the bull with aren't real friends. And a lot of people in my life, all throughout my life, I had to show dominance because they just tested me, immediately testing my boundaries, testing if I'll stand up for myself, testing if I'll push back. And I push back. And then sometimes they respect me. Sometimes they freak out and go crazy. I don't know, but a lot of times they respect me. But a lot of people come in my life and they're trying to come and like, you know, do all this big bro stuff to me and boss me around. I don't know who you think you are, but they start doing that. And then I go, no, what are you doing? And then they put their tail between their legs. And I'm just like, yo, a real friend, a true bro, is someone who stands shoulder to shoulder with you. You don't have to do all that. You don't. And then I also got these people that are so like, they want to see me as a big bro, but in a weird way. But in a way where they want like to talk about all their problems to me and make me be their therapist and, you know, talk about their relationship when I don't know the other person and talk a bunch of trash about that other person to me and do stuff like that. And I'm like, yo, and it's draining. And then they'll talk about some problems they have. And then they'll want you to validate their BS. It's draining. It's draining. And it's not good for your heart to be around that. And the point I'm trying to make is like, I've gotten to a point where I'm just like, there's some cool people out there. I'll hang out with them. But other than that, F everybody. I'm not going to look at these people. I'm not going to smile at these people. I'll smile at them a little bit. I'll put positivity out there. I'm going to radiate goodness. I'm not saying that, but like, I'm not going to be invested in them at all, is what I'm trying to say. I'm not going to be at all invested in them. I'm not going to be making too much eye contact with them. I'm not going to be tripped out about them. I'm just going to be like, whatever. They're here, I'm here, whatever. I'm in my own energy. I'm in my own zone. I'm to myself. And these people around me are whatever. I don't even notice them. It's like they're not even there. That's a better way to put it. I just like pretend that a lot of these people kind of don't exist. That sounds kind of bad, but it's what you got to do. And I've gotten very good at just making very soft, surface level conversation with people. I don't talk about too much with them. I just kind of ask them about the weather, talk to them about just some little stuff, what they did on the weekend, and that's it. I don't really go into their personal lives. I keep very good boundaries. And that's something that I didn't have the best of before. I did not have a strong sense of boundaries before. I didn't have a strong sense of when to tell people no. You know, I didn't have that, and now I have that. I have that a lot stronger. And that's protecting my heart and protecting my energy and helping get things better for me. It is. It is. And, you know, back to what I said before, it really is a shame that, like, to get a lot of people to like me, I have to show them that I'm someone to respect. I have to show them I'm someone who doesn't play around. I have to show them I'm someone who's big and tough. And I am big and tough, but it's not like I want to be some big tough guy. It's not like it's for my pride or my ego or whatever. It's what I got to do to get respect. It is. It's what I need to do to get respect. And if I don't do this, these people will start to run all over me. It's the bottom line. It's the truth. They'll start to boss me around, disrespect me, be passive aggressive, be manipulative. So when I let them know in my own way that I don't play that, they figure it out. But it's a shame, and I don't see those people as real friends. A real friend, I don't have to do that crap with. A real friend is mature enough that we don't have to play those games. We don't. But I do want to transition to my next point before I end this, and there are good people out there. There's good situations out there. Whatever you're trying to do in life, you're trying to meet that good person, you're trying to have good friends, a good community, you're trying to, whatever, get out of financial struggles, get out of health issues. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. There is. It can be done. Just take heart, learn the lessons you've learned, set good boundaries, and just don't go for the fake stuff. Don't be tricked by the fake version. Don't be tricked by the fraud. Don't be tricked by the games. Stay to yourself, stay chill. You know, stay to yourself, stay chill, and people will respect it. And the truth about all y'all too, if you're really on this spiritual path, you're him, you're her, whatever. I'm trying to think how to say that, but you're like the shining star. You're someone people look at and they wonder what's going on with that person in their life. I've had people ask me, like, what do you do when you chill at home? Look, I've had people be real interested in my stuff. Real interested in me. I have. I definitely have. And it's like, you are that. People aren't really outright saying it to you. You're not quite getting your props just yet, but you are that shining star. Just keep stepping forward. Keep stepping forward. Keep moving forward. And there's real good things coming. There's success is coming. Growth is coming. Healing is coming. That good relationship is coming. Good friends are coming. A good community is coming. Good family is coming. Love and kindness is coming your way. You just got to get through these trials. You got to get through these fake people. You got to get through these fake situations. All right, I'm going to end this video here. Thank you all so much for watching. God bless, much love, and I will see you all next time.